Yes, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. Mikel Arteta is very, very close to signing a new contract with Arsenal, making him one of the highest paid managers in world football. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk about the upcoming transfer window. If you're enjoying the content, as always, make sure you go down, smash a like on the video. Make sure you have subscribed, slowly approaching 7.2k subscribers. And just one question, what type of content do you want to see throughout the transfer window and the Euros? If you want to see watch alongs, match reactions, news, views, and clues, let me know down below. Now, Fabrizio Romano come out with a report earlier today. I think it was around something like 2, 3 p.m., maybe lunchtime. Yeah, it was around lunchtime. Arsenal have already prepared a new contract for Mikel Arteta, and both sides of the party want this to be done as soon as possible. Arsenal have prepared a new contract proposal for Arteta to be discussed soon. Arsenal are super happy with Arteta, and the feeling is mutual. Both want to keep going with the current project together. Arteta will be one of the highest paid managers in Europe. Look, speaking about this from a neutral fan, obviously I want Arteta to leave because I can see that he is going to be successful and Arsenal are on the right trajectory, and they are at this moment in time performing very well. Looking at this from a rival, I think a lot of teams around Europe and England are kind of copying Arsenal's blueprint in terms of bringing in a young manager, giving him time, not necessarily going for the big name managers. Look at Tottenham, for instance. We haven't exactly gone for a young manager, but we've gone for more of an unknown manager. We've had the win now managers in, Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte, and sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Juventus have just gone for Thiago Motta, a very young manager. Bayern Munich have just gone for a very young manager in Vincent Kompany, who hasn't even got 5 years management under his belt. Roma have gone for Daniele De Rossi. Chelsea have gone for Enzo Maresca. So a lot of young managers now are on the market and, essentially available. And I do think that Arsenal have opened up a lot of clubs' minds. When Real Madrid first made the move for Zinedine Zidane, he didn't really have a huge amount of managerial experience, but sometimes making that plunge and going for the gamble can come in your favor. And now Arsenal are in a very strong position. The likes of Benjamin Sesko, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, Alexander Isak, Gramares, Edison, Zubamendi, so many strong transfer links now. And Arsenal, because of Arteta's management and because they're now in title races, Arsenal have become a very, very, very attractive Premier League team to play for again. 5 or 6 years ago, Arsenal were around 8th, not performing well. They've backed Arteta. They've kind of trust the process, and they narrowly, as you can see by the last year's league table, they lost out by 2 points. One win they lost the Premier League by. They won the same amount of games as Arsenal did as Manchester City. It's just one win, and they would have won the league title. But look, obviously, lots of people are going to come out and be very, very happy about this. And lots of people in terms of the standards FC are not going to be happy he's getting a pay rise. For me, Arteta, you can talk about being in a title race and, and it is very, very, very good how well they're performing. But the only bit of criticism I think you could give on Arteta right now is the fact that the domestic cups hasn't gone as they planned. It hasn't gone as they planned. Let's just call it as it is. They should have won more FA Cups. They should have won more League Cups. I don't think Arsenal have actually won a League Cup since the 90s, which is absolutely insane to think about. But they should have won more domestic trophies. And now they've got a year Champions League football under these players, Saka, Martinelli, Havertz. They're obviously looking for that killer number 9 who can score 20 a season and carry you to league trophies, to league titles. And it's all about, replacing the DM in that system is going to be very, very important. They are crying out for a DM. They're absolutely crying out for one. They've got Declan Rice who can play the 8 role very, very, very well to a very high standard. They've got Martin Odegaard, who's one of the best playmakers in Europe right now. For me, the way I look at this, Arsenal have got one of the best squads in Europe right now. They're performing very, very well. The main guy they're being linked with, Alexander Isak, 21 Premier League goals. If they get him over the line, I'm going to say it right now. Arsenal will win the Premier League in the next 2 years. If Pep Guardiola leaves this Premier League, Arsenal will dominate under Arteta. You know, people forget this is still his first managerial role. He's second in the Premier League. They won at Old Trafford this year. They won at White Hart Lane this year. They beat City. They didn't lose a single game to a top 6 rival. They're back in the Champions League for the second year in a row. The ownership clearly has a large amount of, I guess you could say, confidence in his ability. Everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet in the fan base. The director of football, Edu, has brought in some good players. And for the first time, I could probably say in 10 years now, Arsenal's plan is coming together. They just need to get a couple of trophies in the cabinet and then build and then really start winning. You know, the thing that I've been calling out Tottenham's ownership for a long, long time is we've never really had a plan together. When we had Michael Edwards, who is Liverpool's current director of football, the new director of football, he was responsible when he was at Spurs for bringing in the likes of Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, Hugo Lloris, Heung-min Son, some great, great players. I've been critical on this ownership because we didn't have a plan together. Arsenal's plan was to do a massive clear out. Socrates, Mustafi, Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Kolasinac, Monreal, Petr Cech. So many players have gone and been sold. And the transformation in this Arsenal team is night and day. I want to take you back to the 2020-2021 season. You know, 2019-20. Or is it 2018-19? Yeah, 2018-19. Unai Emery's last season as an Arsenal manager. Yes, he finished 1 point outside of top 4. Very, very, very experienced coach. Arteta then tries to play a different way of playing, brings in and clears out lots of players. They finished 8th in the 2021 season. 21-22, they finished, 19-20 and 20 and 21, they finished 8th. 21-22, they finished 5th. Last year, title race, lost out by 5 points. This year, title race, lost out by 2 points. So I don't buy into the opinion that Arteta's been a flop. The trajectory has gone like that. You have to have a setback sometimes to move forward, and that's what they've done. They've sacrificed 2 years of European football, finishing 8th and 8th. They've got back into the Champions League. They are now on the right path to start winning the elite major honours. No one can deny that. No one can deny that. Like, I don't buy into the narrative that he's not a good, you know, manager. I don't buy into it. You see his man management, you see his coaching, you see the football that Arsenal play. I don't buy into it. I think right now they're pound for pound, other than City, probably the best team. Well, they are other than City, the best team in the league. I think they're top 5 teams in Europe right now. Only Real Madrid, I guess you could say, Bayer Leverkusen, Man City, and maybe Bayern Munich, pound for pound, are better. Dortmund are in the Champions League final, of course, as well. So they're a very, very good side. But there's not many teams out there that are better. And the way Arsenal are going, they're only going in one way. They're only going one way. And if he gets these signings and Guardiola leaves, I'm telling you guys, Arsenal are going to be a machine in the next 4 or 5 years. Guardiola's already come out and said it in various interviews. The manager, the way they play, you know, genuinely, that they're going to be very, very, very strong in years to come. I'm telling you, they are going to be very, very strong. It's all about this upcoming transfer window for me. If Arsenal have a good summer window, they're going to win the league. They bring in Alexander Isak, they're bringing in Zubimendi or an Edison. They're 2 or 3 players away from winning the league, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts on the upcoming Euros and what type of content you guys want to see. Make sure, as it says here, you are smashing the like on the video. and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am